Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Maryam. Today we are attempting to do the viral, popular, trending reverse cat eye that was actually made popular by Spencer, painted by Spencer here on YouTube and on TikTok. He created this very dramatic lower lash line, smoked out cat eye look. It went viral, and so today I am going to attempt to recreate it, but in a colorful version that you see on my face right now. I'm gonna be using LUNAR Beauty's Life's a Drag Facelift palette, as well as some purple liners, things like that. Basically gonna walk you through all the steps on how to achieve this look. I hope you like it. I'm not so sure just yet. I think it's kind of fun, but I wanna hear from you. But I am definitely here for the tutorial, and I'm definitely here for the explorative aspect of this video. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get into this one. We're testing out and trying out the viral reverse cat eye look and tutorial. Here we come. All right, so we are zoomed in nice and tight. Here is Spencer's look. I am very much drawn to this aesthetic. I love the whole monochromatic, the black and white, the dark smoky lash line. I love the fact that it looks very glam, but it doesn't utilize false lashes, which I'm so here for in 2021. I'm kind of tired of false lashes. I can still do the half lashes or the accents, but like the full lash, I don't know, I'm kind of steering away from. So I love the fact that in his look, he's not utilizing any false lashes whatsoever. The focus is strictly on the lower lash line, which is also, I think, very good for people who have not a lot of lid space like myself. I have a lot of brow bone space, but not a lot of lid space. So I love the fact that with this look, I can actually play up my lid space and make it look a little bit bigger than what it is. So that's fun for me. For today's look, I am going to focus on a colorful version rather than a black or like a neutral version. So a couple of days ago, I tried this look for the first time. I posted it on Instagram. Here it is. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, you guys have seemed to have liked it. And so here I am today, trying to attempt to recreate this look. I will say though, that I think this look turned out well because of the colors. You know, there's a really nice relationship between the orange and the cobalt blue, but still, I'm not so certain that this is a look that is for me. So in this video, I'm also going to continue exploring this very viral, very trendy look. And I'm just gonna see how to make it like a little bit more my own. What you're gonna need for this look, if you're gonna be following along with me, you're gonna need a colorful liner. So today I'm gonna go for purple. I'm gonna use these liners from TRESLUCE. I haven't really decided which one I'm gonna use. Both are in the purple tone family. One is called Bold, and it looks like a slightly shimmery Prince Purple Rain Purple. I say that with a smile, because if you know, you know. And the second color, I'm probably not gonna use this one. Probably gonna use the Prince Purple Rain. But anyway, this one is called Confident, and it's like a little bit more magenta as opposed to purple. But yeah, anyway, I kinda wanna just go for a truly purple smoked out look. For my palette today, I'm gonna be using the LUNAR Beauty Life's a Drag Facelift palette with Manny Mua. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you need to know. So let's go ahead and get started. My lids are already primed and prepped. I use the Acne-prone Beauty primer, and then I set it with some translucent setting powder from One Size. So that's done. First thing I'm gonna do is map out my top lid. So I'm gonna use this Wing Gloss 05 brush. It's kind of like a fine pencil brush. And I'm gonna go for this shade here called Hunty. Basically all I'm doing here is just tracing out, mapping out the crease, if you will. Kind of like that. Again, like I said, I really want to utilize, or rather maximize, my lid space. So I'm bringing this all the way up, just tracing my eye socket, well above it actually, because my eye socket is a little underneath. Just adding that color there. I mean, for the top lid, you could pretty much do whatever you want to do. You don't have to make it dramatic. You don't even need to do this technique that I'm doing. I'm just doing it because I want this video and this look to be a little bit more interesting, you know? Then I'm gonna take a Mario brush E5 and just gently buff that to blend that upwards, but not downwards. I want this space to be blank. Using a clean brush first, just extending that, blending that, like so, like that. Next, I'm gonna pick up this shade Sickening, slightly lighter, a little peachier, I would say, but still in the nudie category. I'm just gonna go over it, like literally very, very lightly, just brushing that across, flicking that up into the brow bone, nothing too serious. Easy peasy. So you guys may know, I film my Wednesdays videos on Mondays, so now it's my Monday. If you're watching this on Wednesday, it's your Wednesday. I hope you're having a great week so far, but I will say I had a really good weekend, actually. I had my little sister over. We went to see my dad in PA. My brother was there, and it was just a good time. It was a good time indeed. And so I feel rejuvenated. Every time I spend time with both of my siblings, I feel like I take a little bit of their youthful energy. Actually, tomorrow, your Thursday, August 12th, my brother and sister are gonna be turning 14, and I'm so excited. This has nothing to do with this video, but I'm just expressing my excitement because that's kind of like where I'm at this week. It's my brother and sister's birthday, it's Leo season energy, and I'm here for it. I love Leo season. It's like my favorite season because Leos and Libras, we get along, we're like this. Seriously, there's like not a Leo that I don't like. I love them all. Any Leos out there? Now that we've done that, I might add a little bit more color later, but for now, the map is essentially there. So what I'm gonna do is take a flat brush like this one from Outrera. I love saying that. Brush Y4, and I'm gonna take this pale white shade, mix it a little bit with this pink, just plop that all over. I mean, you could use whatever color you want for this colorful look. You don't have to use white, you could use a champagne if you want, you can make it a shimmery kind of eye, but I really want to keep it matte and I want to keep it neutral because all the interest is going to be on that lower portion. So I'm not really making it a cut crease or anything like that, but I'm not really blending the two lines into each other. I'm just keeping it somewhat straight. And then I'm gonna go back with that first brush and just clean that up. Make the border a little bit more contrasting, you see? Just a pinch more dramatic, if you will. Okay, we will leave it as this for now. And now we're ready for the fun part. And it's also the main part of the show today. So I'm gonna go for this TRESLUCE Intenso liner in Bold. Bold is that Prince Purple Rain Purple. What I'm gonna do first is actually line my waterline, making sure there's no cat hair in between my lashes. I'm gonna start off with just a little bit of product and then like gently intensify. So the trick here, I think, and it's also what Spencer said in his video, is to not allow too much of this liner get on your actual lid. You want all the color to be in the waterline and then perhaps also in between your lashes, but not too much on the lower lash line. You just want that border to be very intense. You see what I'm saying? Next, I'm gonna take something a little bit more precise, like this Sephora Smoky Liner brush, which has a really fine tip. And what I'm gonna do with that is smudge out the product that is directly beneath the lashes. This is really hard to do while like looking in the mirror, but also allowing you to see what I'm doing, but I'm hoping you can see. While I'm spreading the product evenly in between my lashes, I'm also starting to drag the product out from my outer corner, following the natural edge and the natural curve of my lower lash line. Also going to very gently start extending that in the inner corner, following the top lash line, like that. But again, I'm doing everything kind of slowly and I'm making sure that I'm not doing too much. I think the trick with this look is to really build on it by first mapping it out, then adding all the other elements like your shadow, like your wing, etc. All right, so this eye seems like it needs just a little bit more liner, kind of like that. I am going to take a flat brush, something like this. This one is a flat definer from Dose of Colors. So it has a nice flat edge, but it's somewhat stiff. I'm going to dip and dab into Pageant Queen, which is a true purple shade. And I'm going to start pushing that color into the lashes. So at first it's gonna appear as a very harsh line, and that's fine. We want it to appear kind of harsh at first, because first we're just placing and laying down the color. I'm gonna start with a little bit at a time, just kind of placing that color, not really smoking it out yet. And also, one thing that I should note is that when I'm placing this color underneath that mapped out wing, I'm not placing it above the wing. And I'm also not placing it above the map out in the inner corner. Everything is staying below. Now, at first glance, this may look a little rough. Like, Maryam, you sure you know what you're doing? My answer is, no, not really. I get that it looks rough, but I'll make it work. I have confidence in myself, but I also say that this first initial step should be a little rough. Just don't apply the color too low. Keep it concentrated, very close to the lashes, like that. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna go back to my precise brush, this 401, dip back into the Pageant Queen, and kind of, sort of start the perfecting process. So now, although this reverse cat eye concentrates most of the color on the lower lash line, in order for it to look good, I noticed that it still kind of has to surround the outer and the inner corner. If you don't surround those corners, then it will look kind of wacky, and I've seen some people attempt this look without actually surrounding the inner and outer corners, and it looks a little amateurish. Sorry to say it that way, but it does. In order to avoid the amateurish look, we are going to gently surround and kind of connect that liner here on the top like that. You see, and now it just looks a little bit more fluid. Like that. Same thing, obviously, in the inner corner. You want to connect that a smidge. You don't want it to just be like floating, hanging there. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a clean pencil brush. I think this one is from Makeup Geek. And I'm gonna start smudging this line underneath. Not on top, but strictly underneath. So basically, now is the part where we start adding that smokiness, making it a little bit less harsh. Although, of course, you can keep it as harsh as you want to. I understand that like not everyone wants a super smoked out lower lash line, but I will say that the more smoked out it is, the more universal it will be, meaning it will probably suit more eye shapes. I'm gonna sort of continue to smoke mine out. If you make any mistakes, like I have a little mistake here, you just take a little sponge or a Q-tip and just clean that up. No big deal. And then I'm gonna take that same pencil brush, the one that was clean, I'm gonna dip into that pink Diva, the same one that I used for the lid mixed with white. And I'm gonna use that to further smoke out the lower lash line. So first of all, this will clean up the shape. This will add more smokiness to it. And will also just make it more interesting. All right, so now back to the purple with the fine pencil brush to add it back in. This is basically an easy way to create smoke. And then going back to the brush that I used for the pink, and just continue spreading that. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more of that liner on the outer corner. I always notice that the outer corner is like the hardest for me. That's where the makeup tends to run. I always have to make sure that I add a little bit more at the end. And then once again, seal that in. Now I'm gonna take a little Q-tip. I'm just gonna perfect some of these lines. So first I'm gonna perfect this line on top. Like that, you see? Just making sure everything is pointing in the same direction, just making sure that it's not too much. Adding just a pinch more of that pink, and then a pinch more purple. But I'm not even really re-dipping at this point. I'm just using whatever is remaining on the brush, and I'm just making sure that everything is blurred out to my liking. Except for here, there seems to be like a little bit of a gap. I'm gonna need to maybe perhaps add a little bit of liner, just to make it stick, and then blend. Better, 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 better. Next thing I'm gonna do, and this is already totally optional, I'm gonna take a little brush like this. I think this is Smoky Eyeliner brush from Laura Mercier. I'm gonna grab a shimmery shade. This one is called Full Fantasy, and it's kind of like a really unique foil type of white shade, but of course you could use any one. I just like this one because it's crazy bright. And what I like to do with this is basically clean up that top edge. You see that? So not only does it add a lot of interest to the inner corner, it also helps control the inner corner liner. So basically I've added a lot, and then I'm going to spread that with my finger just for a pop like that. I think that makes it fun. One more thing I'm gonna do. Remember this brush? This was the brush that I used to blend out the top lash line. I'm gonna just basically go over underneath that pink shadow that I applied. Just blend that a little bit more into the skin. Make everything just a little bit more, oh, I don't know, what's the word? Blended. Lashes time. This is probably like my favorite part of this look, just because I think it's so different and I think it's so fresh. I'm gonna curl my lashes as I always do. Laura Mercier Lash Curler. Making sure I'm really grabbing those lashes at the root. I'm gonna curl the lower lashes as well. For my mascara today, I'm gonna use this Cover FX Power Flex vegan mascara that I actually like because it actually works. Only gonna use that on the top lashes just to add a little color and shape to my lashes. Boom. And boom. You know what? Maybe I should have used this Super Stay liner for my actual waterline, because this TRESLUCE liner is not really staying put in the outer corners the way that I want it to. All right, so I'm gonna add a bit more of this one on the outer corners just to see if this is gonna be better. And I'm gonna add the Cover FX mascara to the lower lashes as well. Just because I don't have a purple mascara handy right now, so I'm just gonna go for the same one. Okay, okay. I don't know, what do we think? I am definitely thinking, looking at this eye right here, that it needs to be a pinch more intense and a pinch better connected. You see that? Keep in mind, if your eyes are closer together, and the way that you can tell if your eyes are closer together is by taking the size of your eye, placing that in between your eyes. If it does not fit, then your eyes are likely closer set together than mine are. So if you have that type of an eye, you may want to not extend this inner corner liner as far as I did. If your eyes are further apart, however, then you have a little bit more room to play around, and you can definitely make this inner corner liner longer or more intense. This is only my second time trying out this look. I have to say, I'm still kind of a novice at it, but overall, I think I like it. I'm not sure if I like this one better than the cobalt version, but I definitely think it's interesting, and it's definitely something that I can see myself wearing. Perhaps not to like a wedding or a formal event, maybe for something a little bit less organized, perhaps, I don't know, a party, or maybe a concert, or maybe a fashion show. I don't know, something that doesn't require me to be very well put together. I hope that makes sense. I guess what I'm saying is this look, although I like it, it's still pushing the envelope a little bit. It's a little bit more outside of my comfort zone. It's definitely forward thinking. It's definitely less wearable than a traditional cat eye, but I can't say I don't feel comfortable in it. Looking at myself in my monitor right now, looking closely at myself in my mirror right now, I gotta say, I kind of like what I see. I do have some fallout though. I think this is definitely a fun look, and I can see myself playing around with it. You absolutely don't have to make it as long as I did over here or as extended as I did in the inner corner. You could definitely keep it smaller. You can smoke it out further if you want. You could make it more colorful by taking the color a little bit lower. But I think the trick, especially for smaller eyes, especially for Asian eyes, is to keep it a little bit more linear. That way it works with your features, you know, doesn't emphasize anything too much in a bad way. It just keeps everything a little bit more controlled. Okay, that was a lot of talking, but overall, basically, I think I like this look. I'm like conflicted. I almost like don't want to admit that I like this look because it's definitely different for me, but it's fun. It's fun, and I had fun with it. So with that said, you guys, I wanna hear from you. What do you think about this look? Would you wear this look? Would you try it with this color? Would you try it with other colors? Or do you like the classic Painted by Spencer version better? Let me know what you think. I am eager to read your comments, to hear your thoughts, to communicate with you. For now, I am just going to model this look for you before zooming on out. And now I'm gonna zoom out so that you can check out more videos over here. Click on them. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.